Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here. You're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports UK.
Hey guys, my name is Cooper Burke, and I'm here with David Zawada, PFL fighter. David, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. Thank you for the inviting.
No problem, David. You fight PFL 6 in a couple of weeks. How are you feeling? How's the camp been? So tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, the camp is actually done. The hard times are today finished. Today I had my last cardio sprints and stuff like that. Yesterday I sparred my last time. Everything what I do now the couple days is to go down with my weight and to get sharp. My striking, my grappling skills, my wrestling skills, all weapons what I like to use and what the techniques I like to do. I will repeat it, to make them come automatically, and it's already done. I'm really happy. I have no injuries. I'm ready to go, and I hope the next days will be stayed there like this.
I mean, it sounds like it's going great. I mean,
Yes.
So this is your second fight this season. It's coming into the playoffs. How are you feeling, about where you're sitting in the standings right now? Obviously, it is a league format, but it's a little bit different because you only get really 2 regular season fights. So, like last week, anything can happen where you could, go 1-1 with a finish and you can get in, or you can go 1-1 with a decision and get in. So how are you feeling about where you're sitting right now in the standings?
Yeah, I'm with my back to the wall. But I had this a lot of times in my career, when I was also in the UFC, I was 0-2, and then I fought the cousin of Khabib, Abu Nurmagomedov, and everybody say, hey, don't go fight him in Russia, at like his hometown, and you fight a good grappler, it's dangerous. But I could handle it. I finished, and I'm also now. I think I can handle this time the same situation, because it's also like I'm 0 points, and our division is hard, because 3 guys have already 6 points, the fourth one has 5 points, so I need to finish in the first round. And we will see. I fight a good guy. This guy Magomed Magomedkarimov, he won the first PFL. He was also one time in the final, lose there. He just get finished one there, and he's hard to fight. He have good striking, good grappling, good submission attempts. So I train also with him when I was in America in Florida, and he's a good guy. I have no bad blood with him. We are friends, and this is also a kind what could be a little bit hard, but it's business. It's part of the business, if we met now, we could also met in the final. So, we should have to fight, So we cannot say, hey, I cannot fight this guy because he's my friend. We have to do it, I hope we came both out without injuries, and the better man will win.
Yeah, I mean, I love that perspective. That's an interesting look at it because you've been around, you've seen lots of things, and so to have that perspective of like, I'm fighting my friend, it's business. How has that helped you? Has that kind of do you feel like it's taken an edge off a little bit of your camp? Like, have you ever been in a camp where you've like, I don't like the guy I'm fighting, I'm gonna train extra harder? Has it just been the same throughout?
No. I never think like this about my opponents that I have to train them much more harder. Of course, this time I have to train smarter, because I think he also know me a little bit, from the training, because we train a lot. I stayed there, I think, for 3 or 4 months, and we train like every day. I helped him for his preparation in the past PFL when he fought, and he had me also for my camp, and yeah, we know each other, so it was hard to prepare. You have every time you have to change your style, or you have to change your fight game, because I cannot change a lot, but I can change how I will step into the cage, maybe to surprise him, because we have both good hands, we like to fight in the stand-up. He knows my grappling, I know his grappling, I know his favorite technique also, because I saw it and I feel it, and this was like kind where I can train. Okay, I will be ready for this one. Maybe he will be ready for this one, so I have to change maybe style or a technique in my skills, but at the end, fight is a fight. When we have everybody plans, we make it smart, make it good. But when you go in there, and how do you will feel, how do you wake up on this fight day? This is the important thing, and on this I work now, that everything will be good, that I stay healthy, without injuries, no have complicated in my head, only focus. It's a fight, doesn't matter who stands in front, you have to go and win.
Yeah, I mean, fighting is an interesting profession because not a lot of places is someone trying to take your job away from you. So that's a big deal. But so tell me a little bit about your time in the UFC. I know I was kind of doing some research and I saw some of your fights like live, and I think you got a fair shake, man. Your fights were Abubakar Nurmagomedov, Li Jiangling,
Yes.
uh, all those guys. Do you feel a little bit? Do you feel better, or are you happier in the PFL now?
This I cannot comment because my debut was also a little bit unhappy for me. I get knocked out in the first round. It was also my first knockout like this, where I get punched good on the chin. The PFL is great. I like it. I was at the show. I was also there with my friend Gleison Tibau. When he was fighting there, I was in his corner twice, against Zeferino and then against Rory McDonald when we fought. Yeah, and I saw how they how the show is going on, and I liked it, and yeah, no, I'm to be a part. I'm really happy, but now I have to put my results better, I have to win, that I can keep going or can keep staying in the PFL, because then it's only I was a part of it, but I have to be example of it,
I
have to work.
understand, but
Yeah.
I think the PFL is lucky to have a guy like you. Um,
Yeah.
there's a lot of young talent in the PFL, but to have somebody who's a veteran that's been around, that's smart,
Mhm.
that's extremely valuable to a promotion like that. And so they're lucky to have you, man. Um,
Thank you.
do you like the league format?
Yes, it's all good. It's like professional, I was in the UFC, I was in big organization here in Europe, and now in the PFL, they make great work, they make the media sessions like everywhere, they give us food catering, for that we can cut our weight. They give us stuff to cut weights, like sweatsuits and stuff like that, creams to getting sweating, and yeah, it's good, the media you have also interviews there of your predictions of your camps, and yeah, it's like always, it's like same like in the UFC, the fight week. I think the only thing what in the UFC is part of USADA, and the UFC PI, that they have like some nutritionists there, it's you can say the UFC is the biggest company, so they have now the best things to do, or to have. Like the nutritionist that they check your weight, say, okay, you can eat this calories, they bring you the food, special, make it for you. So
Mhm.
this is something where I think, okay, this is different about UFC and the other organizations. It's not only PFL, because I think PFL will soon grow more up, you know, and it's very close to the UFC, you know, and soon maybe it will be better, or yeah, same.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm.
Last week I actually tuned into a full PFL broadcast for the first time, and I'm attending in Atlanta these next couple weeks,
Okay.
and I was impressed by the show. Um, is this your first time fighting in Atlanta?
Yes, yes, first time also. I will be there first time in Atlanta, and yeah, it's also cool to go around the world, you know, because of
Absolutely.
fighting. It's cool,
Of
yeah.
course. Of course. I mean, yeah, traveling's great. Do you like fighting in the smaller arenas, or do you prefer some of the bigger ones, like, the basketball arenas? What's
And
your preference?
I would prefer bigger areas, you know, like over 10 or 20,000 people there, you know, because I don't know, I like to feel the crowd, you know.
Of course.
This was also like when I fought in the UFC Apex. It was like some 200-300 people there, just the media and some from friends, you know. It's small. Same now when we fought in the Virgin Hotel now in Vegas in PFL. It was same. Wasn't big, you know. It was also like 200-300 people there. And yeah, it's something like, you know, like a sparring, you know. So I couldn't get my focus 100% in the first fight, you know. This is maybe what was my mistake. But now I changed it in my training, you know, also in the sparrings. So this time doesn't matter if the crowd will be full or it will be a small event. For me, it's now just focus for the fight and bring my best performance there.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the kind of mindset you need to have. I mean, I don't want you to divulge your game plan here, but do you have a game plan right now, or are you, because Magomed
Magomed
Karimov,
Magomedkarimov. Yeah.
yes, because you know him so well, is it
You
more
know,
kind of fly
it's
by the
in this
seat of
fight.
your pants?
It's hard. It's hard to make a s- game plan. I have some skills, you know, what I will do, but I cannot tell now. But we will start like every MMA fight in the stand up, and then we will see who will go down, you know, for the takedown, or maybe somebody get hits, you know, and go down. I think he also will try it out in the stand up. So we will start in the stand up, you know, and yeah, it's a pressure on me, so I have to give the tempo. You know, I make a lot of cardio so that I can go high tempo. You know, because I need to do the pressure. You know, he just have to wait for the situation where he can maybe counter me, or took me down or submit me. You know, so uh, yeah. I don't know which side is better, you know, because yeah, it's fight game, you know. It's very hard. It's to find the right situation when it's time to go and finish him, you know. Yeah, but I'm prepared for everything, you know. I work on my striking skills, also my grappling, you know. I like it, and my wrestling skills also. So I'm everywhere prepared, and we will see. We'll start in the stand up, and it will be go, or maybe it will be enough, you know. Let's see it.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited for it. Couple of more questions. So, you mentioned that you're probably going to have to pick up the pace a little bit, and to pick up a finish early in the fight. How are you feeling about that? I know that's a lot of pressure. In terms of, like, with PFL's league format, you kind of know what you have to do, and that's sitting in the back of your mind. How are you feeling knowing that you're going to have to come out guns blazing? Is that something that you've come to terms with, or something that you still haven't really thought about?
Yeah, not. I don't know. You know, it's. I go there, I fight. You know, I know. I did. My first fight makes me bring me in this situation. So my lose. You know, so I have to make it better. You know, and I have to make it the best in the best situation I have to do. But also, let's say I don't finish him in the first or second or third round, it goes by decision, and I will win by decision. It's good, Also, when I cannot maybe compete, you never know because it's good to have a win, Then when somebody gets injured, I have like maybe a green card, to get in, maybe like something like this, or they will give me a super fight, and the last show of the year where I can fight for my place in the next year or something like that, And yeah, I'm ready for everything. I'm ready if I can finish him in the first round. I can also get finished again in the first round, but it must have an end point, But I think we will make a good fight, because the PFL put this matchup because they know something, They know Magomed, they know me, and this is why they put this matchup, When I could choose, I would also choose somebody else, Also because he's my friend, so.
I understand. That's a really thoughtful answer. I love your perspective so far on everything that we've kind of talked about. Like, uh, it seems like you have a great handle on your mindset, and a lot of fighters don't. Do you see that as a weapon? A lot of guys are
Yeah,
like, "Oh, I have my mindset, or I'm a killer, whatever is my biggest weapon." But I think your mindset is it's very mature, it's very wise. Is that something that gives you an edge over most of your opponents sometimes?
Yeah, it's I have this mindset because I have a lot of experience. I fought everywhere, and I also talk to um, more experienced guys like me, and how they see it, and maybe when they talk about my fights and why I lose, and it's part of the game, but you have to stay confident. Doesn't matter if it's win or lose, you have to, I don't know what will happen, things will happen. I will be back in Germany. Maybe I will take a week off, and then I will keep going, Training, if I am in the playoffs, it's great, because then I have a target. If I'm out, I will stay in shape because you never know. Maybe some guy will be injured and they will search for a replacement. Uh, this is my mindset. Everybody else, they when you push your mindset too much that you have to do, then it's no happen like you want. The most guys break down. They think, oh, I'm bad, I'm no good, I do everything. Of course, not only you, everybody, 100 people, do it every time, or maybe more harder. Okay, maybe other guy do it in other direction, but yeah, you live for it, so you have to do it, and you have to understand it. This is the important thing to understand. When you get too emotional to it, it can hurt you, it can hurt your personality, it can change also your character. So it's a hard part, to have a strong mind in this game, but without this, you cannot fight, because this is the hardest part. You can break your arm, you can break a chin, but when you break your head, it breaks your full body, your soul, everything. So you have to understand it, and yeah, to go with it.
Yeah, that's certainly true. I mean, I've seen fighters who have been in good shape and their mindset just goes and then they're done.
Yeah.
Um,
No.
I think a certain fighter comes to mind. He fought in the PFL, Max Roshkoff. That happened to him when he was in the UFC. So I completely agree with you that your mindset is important, that you need to have it right to stay healthy.
Yes,
You
of
know,
course, yeah.
one last question. You know, you've been around in the fight game, and this is your second fight in PFL. Uh, are you? Hmm, let me think. So you've been around in PFL. Like, if
Mhm.
you could stay with PFL, is that your goal? Like, are you happy in PFL right now?
I don't know yet. I have just my first fight. I have to see. I have to do a couple more fights, and then I can see if maybe it's a end station for me there when I can say, hey, I like to stay here and to finish my career. But I don't know. It's now hard to say because one fight. Also know my results, what I predict. Also I was full in shape. I was full in camp. I have nothing to say about this that I lose.
Mhm.
One thing just was my focus, but what this was this I have to handle. So this time I will handle it better. And yeah, well, let's see. PFL is good. It's growth. It's get great signings. Like with this YouTuber Paul and now Francis Ngannou. So it's getting bigger, better. Let's see. When I can stay as long as PFL wants, would be good. To grow also more with the company.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, PFL got a good one, man. I really enjoyed talking to you. Hopefully if I end up going to the fights, hopefully I'll see you there. I'll definitely keep an
Yeah.
eye out. So thanks
Okay.
again for your time and best of luck on the 23rd.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And yes, I hope also to see you there so we can talk also about other stuff or maybe
Sounds
after the
good.
fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I would love to.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thank you so much. Hold on, let me pause.